this is the Me and Pop Show. I'm your host, Joe, and this is
Father, Dad.
Father, Dad, I guess. Pop.
Are we on?
We're on. I have a question.
What's your question?
We're going to be discussing the difference between selling in your day and selling in my day, such as auction stuff and antiques and stuff like that.
Well, when I was younger, I used to get a lot of different stuff. Are we on now?
Yeah.
Okay. I used to get a lot of different collectible items, small little trinkets. I used to have a fella that used to come over to my store all the time to sell me trinkets. And he would find it in somebody's trash or something like that. He would never steal anything, Johnny. We called him Garbage John. He always carried a bag, and he came to my place a lot of times to sell his wares. And I would retail these things at the auction with my father. So a lot of them were small little things like maybe costume jewelry and different things that nobody would think about buying, but I was able to sell them at one time. You know?
Okay. Where would you sell these items?
Well, I would go to Collingswood Auction in New Jersey, and I would sell them down at the auction. My father would be there all the time, watching the table and everything, while I go out and look for other stuff to buy and to bring to my table to sell it.
I remember one day I went to the auction. I made a mistake. I sold the marshmallow from Ghostbusters for like $5.
Yeah.
It's probably worth a lot more.
That probably worth a lot more.
We should have held on to that.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. But I'll tell you what, I had a good time, a good rapport with my father. You know, I did. You know, like it's just that this is the things that I had to do, because what happened is we had. My son Eddie was going to a special school. It cost him a lot of money to be there, you know. So what happened was we had to pay for the tuition and everything. It was very expensive.
Yeah.
So I paid for it, and he went to school. I hope he learned something. It was a very good school,
Yeah.
St. Joe's in Metuchen, New Jersey. What happened is he graduated from the school. And then he went on to other things, you know. But I have a son, Joe, that was young at the time, and I didn't have a chance to go with him, you know. But he went with, my son, Joe, went with me not too long ago, and I went to the auction with him.
We went with me,
yeah,
my brother, and you.
Yeah, but I haven't did that in many, many years.
Yeah,
I'm talking about a lot of years.
It was the patriarch, his son Ed, and his son me, Joe.
Yeah, I tell you, I would like to go to auction again with my son Joe, but I think we're going to try going here locally to Woodbridge. They have a flea market there. Maybe we could set up a table over there and do some things.
Okay. I just want to add this. Like, back in the day, in the 80s and 70s or in the 80s, you know, there wasn't such things like eBay or Mercari or Amazon or whatever to post your stuff to sell. It's like it's
we never had computers. No animal. I had a typewriter that I had in my basement for a lot of years, and my brother said to me, "Can I borrow this typewriter?" He never gave it back to me. My original typewriter. So I wonder what happened to it, you know? My brother would turn around and do things. He would, if I gave him something, he would turn around and sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
My father had a car car one time was an old car. I thought he was going to keep it. He didn't keep it. He sold it for the bucks.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, I didn't like that. My son Joe, if we helped him with something, right now, my son Joe, I tell you what, turn around, he bought his own car. He bought his own car and paid for his own car insurance too.
Yeah.
He's more sensible than my brother was. My other son, I think, But you did.
We both had a thing. It's like, I'm gonna say, I asked AI, and this is generating the AI question. I asked AI how my role was with stuff and without stuff, like stuff as the network, podcasting network, writing, merchandise handling, counseling, all those other things. I was asking how my role was with it and without it.
Yeah.
They were saying it was better with it than without it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little leery about certain things. And right now, I won't get into that right now. But I know, I tell you what, I don't know, the modern technology they have today is not what we had years ago. And everything was, really good years ago. I liked what we had years ago. We didn't have to worry about stamps or licenses or permits or anything to sell anything we wanted to. If I went to an auction, I would sell it and it would be mine, But today, they want you to have a permit, a license to sell. They want every single penny from that they could bleed off you.
I mean, isn't that like, it's like, starting a business, you need a report, it's $150, you need this, it's $99, it's $200 some dollars, it's like,
I'll tell you, we didn't have the money for that stuff.
Highway robbery.
And I'll tell you, it's highway robbery, right? You can't even put food on your table.
Yeah.
You're starving, right? You got no food on your table, and they expect you to turn around and pay these extra fees. This is not good for poor people.
That's why.
And I'll tell you, I hate to say it, the Democratic Party screwed us. Plain English. I'll say it myself.
Well, it's
Democratic Party one time were all friends of mine. I knew everybody. I could have went to Washington D.C. with the congressman. He said, I'll introduce you to all the congressmen over there in Washington D.C. and take you to everything. And the guy loved me, and I loved him. And at that time, we were really good Democrats. But today, they're not like that today. The Democratic Party changed. Tomorrow, to me, it seems like they become the party of the rich.
Well, if anything, since we're going to that avenue.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm upset with that.
Since we're going to that avenue, it's shifting to.
It's my opinion.
It's shifting to Democrat to independent to where your party was before.
Well, we didn't have that many independents. Democratic Party always was the party that got in all the time. But they slipped. And I'll tell you, I think they slipped big time. They should go back to the way it was during Eddie Patton's day. And the people that were there in Washington in those days. I'm going back to the 60s and after.
Yeah.
But we went through a lot of different wars and everything else. Maybe some of these wars could have been prevented. And right now, I don't want to see a war with the Chinese. But, like for instance, I don't know what's going to take place. So, I don't know. But I think if a product is being sold over here, and whether it's a new product, they should make it competitive with the United States. So if they're over here going to pay a penalty to sell something here, all we want is our products to be able to sell in China.
Yeah.
We want our products to sell in China. And also too, and they better not tax us more money if we're going to sell it over there. If you're going to tax us more money on our products, we're going to tax you on your products if you sell it to this country.
Wasn't that the whole basis idea of the tariffs?
That's right. We shouldn't have that. There should be no tariff on either side. But
yeah.
if you're going to blackball us and not be able to sell our products to your people there, then we don't want your products sold here.
Hold on, we're going to pause for a second.